Hello, everyone. My name is Jahaira Alvarez, and I will be presenting my VPK program interview. So, I wanted to include the person I was interviewing. She did wish to remain anonymous, so sadly, I cannot show any footage or any share her name, but she is a teacher that I happen to work with. She's a VPK teacher. She is licensed. She works at a special needs school. She has many years of experience of working with children who have autism, who have speech and language delays, and ADHD and any sensory needs. She works alongside RBTs, therapists, behavior analysts, and they all collaborate to create a supportive and nurturing environment for their clients, for their students. And this program and the school that she works at is a full day program, so it is full 8 hours of school. And because of the full day that she has with them, she is able to reach them and they're able to just learn so much more and really focus on developing those skills. I wanted to also include the interview questions that I asked her. Um, and throughout this presentation, I will be explaining some of her answers to these questions in the form of, summarizing it all. But yeah, these are the questions. I wanted to focus on asking questions about, a child's development, her curriculum, her teaching approaches, her strategies, how she collaborates with parents, the roles of educators and caregivers, and just how she gets her students ready to eventually move on to kindergarten. So, first, we will be discussing the child experiences and development. The teacher did share that she has seen such a growth in their development, even in the short time period of, just a few months of this school year. She sees a lot of improvement specifically in communication. So, all her students are special needs. A lot of them are nonverbal. So, the biggest issue and the biggest goal has been communicating independently, whether that's, verbally, with gestures, or with their AAC device. So she has seen an increase in students using their ACC device, using their gestures or even, their voice to communicate their needs, to communicate, and interact with, the teachers, the other students, her peers, and the therapist. She also has seen an increase in the students being more social. We have a behavioral analyst at the school who has her doctorate, and she pulls students out actually to, specifically work on social skills, on how to interact with their peers appropriately. So she has seen increase due to those, group activities that they get pulled out for. And she has seen a lot of independence. Even, at 4 years old, she pushes her students and she has routines, she has structures, she has things in place for them to, become and learn to be independent. That is the goal. She also did go on about a few activities that she likes and that the students love to participate in. So she has a lot of sensory centers, a lot of magnets, a lot of artworks, a lot of Play-Doh, a lot of movement, a lot of dance, a lot of music, and even outdoor play that help them um, with their social skills, with their sensory inputs, with their regulation, and even their fine motor skills. Next, we will be moving on to the role of educators and caregivers in this program. So, specifically with students with special needs, it is so important for educators and caregivers to be on the same page, to have that constant communication. So she did explain that she does use a lot of visual schedules in the classroom. She uses a lot of routines that are kept the same, as well as having hands on multi-sensory learning, to support each of the needs of of her students. She also does collaborate with their speech therapists if they have, occupational therapists if they have, behavioral analysts if they have, and they're in constant communication as well as with the parents to see what the challenges are and what goals and how we can reach the needs of their students. She did say how it is so important to communicate, for families to also communicate with the teacher and also to reinforce what they are working on at school at home. So any programs, any trials, um, any skills that they're just working on in school, that it's being mimicked at home, because then all the work that they've done in school gets thrown out the window and they have to start from square one again. But yeah, next we will be moving on to the curriculum, activities, and teaching methods that she uses. So she did explain how the VPK program does follow the Florida VPK standards, but because of the special needs in the classroom, it is always being modified. There is that same focus on early literacy, math, language, and the social emotional learning. And she went on to explain the activities used in the classroom. It's a lot of sensory play, it's a lot of hands on, um, it's a lot of small group, it's a lot of movement, outdoor play, um, and it's just all structured. There's a routine. She has a routine for every hour of the day in her classroom, including specials, which is, PE, music, STEM, art, and even I think social skills. She explained. She went on about her teaching methods and how they're multisensory. She tries to individualize her teaching, because all her students are different. A lot of them use their devices. A lot of them need visuals. A lot of them need hands on modeling, practicing, repetition. Each of her students are different, so she tries to individualize that instruction so that she can support, the needs of her students based on, what they need and their learning style. Next, we will move on to the relevance to contemporary educational practices and, the modern classrooms. Um, she did explain and talk about how she tries to align with the modern educational expectations that are to be met. So that means, including inclusion into the classroom and, diverse learning needs. Emphasizing and really pushing for social emotional learning, and especially students with special needs. That's already um, an important goal, um, for them. So that's already included in every lesson, in every activity, all throughout the day, Monday through Friday. She does use different differentiated and individualized instruction. She uses diverse learning. She has a lot of visuals, including multisensory experiences. She is just pushing for communication so that when they move on to kindergarten, they are ready. They have the skills that they need to exceed and succeed in kindergarten, not only, with their academics, but also with their cognitive, social, and emotional skills. So, to summarize all this information and everything I've learned through this interview, is that a VPK program, especially for special needs, does require a lot. It requires intentionality, it requires a love for the child and a desire to see them grow. Um, Students are being pushed in her classroom They are so capable, and their teachers see it, their therapists see it, and they really push for communication, for social skills, for independence, for proper regulating. um, they teachers um, the teachers uses a lot of support, a lot of visuals, a lot of routines, and multisensory learning, so that each child is met with the need that they need. Their curriculum is adaptable to each child. It's inclusive. It's interchanging. Um, there's a lot of engagement with hands-on activities. Um, Teachers are in constant collaboration and communication with therapists, with specialists, with parents. They are also just reinforcing routines and the same skills at home. The curriculum, again, the practices in the classroom meet the modern contemporary educational practices like inclusion, social emotional learning, differential instructions. And all of this is to prepare the child academically, but also socially and developmentally for when they move to kindergarten. And that concludes my presentation on everything I've learned through my VPK interview. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have learned something new.